Pesticides are a combination of chemicals that are used to kill, repel, or control many forms of animal and plant life that are considered to damage or be a nuisance in agriculture and domestic life. There are various types of pesticides: rodenticides, fungicides, insecticides, and herbicides. Rodenticides are a specific type of pesticide that kills rodents, so rats, mice, and squirrels. These chemicals are usually put into a food form so that they can be placed in a trap for a rodent to eat. And then once the rodents consume the food, the chemicals work to inhibit their ability to clot blood or cause respiratory failure, thus making them bleed internally to death. While they are highly effective in their ability in repelling rodents, they are still considered toxins, meaning they are extremely poisonous to humans and can harm any wildlife that feeds on them. The next type of pesticides are fungicides. Fungicides work on killing/preventing the growth of fungi and their spores on plants and or crops. They are able to control the mold and mildew that damage the plants. What fungicides do is damage the fungal cell membranes or interfere with the energy production of the fungal cell membrane so that they are able to die off of the plant they are habitating. Fungicides are good for preventing the spread of plant diseases and can promote plant health with increasing photosynthesis production. However, they are very harmful to the environment by entering the water systems through runoff, therefore polluting the water and negatively affecting biodiversity by directly harming the non-target organisms like ground beetles and ladybugs who are very beneficial to the environment. Now, insecticides are a type of pesticide that kills and repels harmful insects. These work by either damaging the nervous system or the exoskeleton of the insects. Insecticides are very helpful because they improve the quality of crops, but they are harmful to humans and can kill more organisms than intended. The last type of pesticides are herbicides. This type of pesticide is used to kill/prevent the growth of unwanted vegetation. It works by blocking or inhibiting the processes that are important for plant growth, namely photosynthesis. And while, like the other pesticides, are highly effective in killing weeds, they are still incredibly harmful to humans and aid in polluting the environment with runoff rainwater and leaching into underground water supplies. Overall, there are benefits and drawbacks in using these varieties of pesticides.
Pesticides can pose both advantages and disadvantages to humans, animals, and our environment. First, pesticides increase crop yields and improve the quality of crops. They have also been able to stop the spread of diseases and improve world hunger. According to the National Institute of Health, 1/3 of agricultural products produced around the world are dependent on pesticides. Additionally, without the use of pesticides, 78% of fruit production, 32% of cereal production, and 54% of vegetable production would be lost to pests and diseases. 3 billion kilograms of pesticides are used each year. However, only 1% of all pesticide use is effective to control pests on crops. In many cases, the drawbacks outweigh the benefits. As seen in the diagram, pesticide use can contribute to harmful human and animal exposure, contamination of waterways and groundwater, and soil degradation. Furthermore, the chemicals used to strip soil of nutrients, lower water retention, obstruct nitrogen fixation in plants, and can remain on surfaces of crops long after they've been sprayed. Humans are affected through exposure from inhalation, contact with skin, and ingestion. Cancer, neurological disorders, reproductive issues, and development problems have been linked to pesticide use. Prolonged use can also build up pesticide resistance, which is when pesticides artificially select for pests with resistance, killing off all non-resistant individuals, leaving only resistant pests alive. An example of a pesticide with long-standing harmful effects is DDT, created in the 1940s as one of the first synthetic pesticides. It was originally used to kill malaria, typhus, and other diseases by killing the insects that would transmit these illnesses to humans. However, DDT started to thin eggshells, especially for eagle eggs. Studies have also linked DDT to exposure to causing liver tumors in animals and negative reproductive effects in both animals and humans. It's been classified as a carcinogen, and the use of DDT was banned in 1972.
As scientists and agriculturalists continue to look at pesticides and their downsides, other alternatives have been created to help create a potentially safer way to protect crops. One of the main alternatives that has been made is GMOs, which is short for genetically modified organisms. According to the Human Genome Research Institute, a GMO is a plant, animal, or microbe in which one or more changes has been made to the genome in an attempt to alter the characteristics of an organism. GMOs were originally created with the hope of creating plants and crops with genes for pest resistance. An example of a crop having its own pesticide is Bt corn, which produces Bt crystals, which are poisonous to insects. By creating crops that were resistant to pests, farmers would not have to rely so heavily on pesticides. In the US, the FDA is responsible for the regulation of GMOs and their implementation into our food supply as well as animal food supply. According to the FDA, the GMOs that are available right now in the US are corn, soybean, canola, sugar beets, cotton, alfalfa, potatoes, summer squash, apples, papaya, and pink pineapples. Certain GMOs sold in the US are required to have a disclosure either in the form of text on the package, a bioengineered food symbol, or a QR code. Over the past couple of decades, the utilization of GMOs has drastically risen in the United States, with over 75% of cotton and corn being genetically engineered since 2012. As GMOs have become more and more common in fields around the world, a debate has risen about their use in both our food supply as well as animal food supply. Those who are in favor of GMOs point to the more than 30 years worth of studies that state that eating GMO plants is no more risky than non-GMO plants. A study by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine states that genetically engineered crops, have no adverse effects on the health of either animals or humans based on a substantial amount of trials conducted by their research team. Additionally, GMOs can be used to help combat climate change. GM plants can be engineered to be more resistant to climate change and to pack more nutrients than ever before. The endless possibilities with GMOs gives us the opportunity to utilize them to help protect our environment. On the other hand, those who oppose GMOs argue that GM crops are genetically identical, leading to a large decrease in biodiversity. If a disease got hold of a singular GM crop, the whole crop yield would run the risk of getting the same disease. Additionally, a lot of people believe that GMOs are bad for your health and that they cause cancer and negatively affect the environment, despite 30 years of science disproving both of these claims.
Now that you have learned all about pest control, let's take a quick recap about everything. As we know, pesticides are substances that prevent or repel pests, including insects, weeds, and fungi. There are four different types of pesticides: insecticides, used to kill insects; herbicides, used to kill weeds; fungicides, used to protect crops from fungal diseases; and rodenticides, used to target rodents like rats and mice. Pesticides are very important in our ecosystem today by helping increase agricultural productivity with reducing crop damage, leading to higher yields. In addition, it provides better economic benefits through supporting farming efficiency and lowering food prices. Pesticides are also very negative in the ecosystem today by environmental damage through harm in non target species, water contamination, and soil degradation. Human health risk as well, due to long term exposure in the air, could cause respiratory issues like cancers and neurological problems. Pesticides are a very important chemical compound to help keep the food production healthy and stable, but could also come at a cost to humans' health. GMOs, also known as genetically modified organisms, are plants or animals altered using genetic engineering techniques for desired traits. Some of the major GMOs currently are apples, soybeans, sugar beets, cotton, and potatoes. GMOs are very important in our ecosystem as it allows farmers to use fewer pesticides and reduce the need for less effective or environmentally harmful pesticides. Pesticides and GMOs are essential in keeping our food supply stable, especially as the global population continues to grow. They also help maintain environmental balance by preventing ecosystem disruptions caused by invasive pests or crop failures. But to ensure long term success, we need sustainable practices, blending traditional methods, modern technology, and organic solutions to protect both our health and the planet. So let's advocate for responsible use of pesticides and GMOs, pushing for research and innovations to create safer, more effective solutions for the future. Thank you.